Welcome to my Britain's Strongest Man under 120 kilos recap. The first event was the car deadlift. The approximate weight was well over 350 kilos, and unfortunately for me on the day it was a little bit too much. The warm-ups went quite nicely, even with all my injuries I've got at the minute. I still managed to achieve the warm-ups with the weights in the back, but they added 2 extra people for the comp, and yeah, I just couldn't achieve it, unfortunately. So it wasn't a good start to my comp. Yeah, you can see I really gave it a good try, adjusted my feet a few times. Next up, 350 kilo tyre flip, as many reps in a minute as possible. The video actually cuts off my first flip, so I achieved 8 in total. I was first up because I came last, and I just slipped there as well. Yeah, I was first up because I was last on the deadlift, so I had to set a target. This stood for at least half the event. It was only towards the end people started beating me. I think the winner got 13 in the end, a few on 11, and then so I scored quite highly in this. The majority only managed 5 or 6 reps. There was no tread on this tyre, so it was very difficult to get hold of. Luckily I managed to come up and have a try out on it beforehand. Next up, 120 kilo, normal bar overhead. This moved quite nicely. I was quite surprised how easy this felt. Then onto the 130 axle. So I took a breather, just learning from UKs, sucked the air in, reset myself. So there's no belt clean, so I was just above my belt, and then I got it onto my belly just to be sure. Set myself here. As you can see, it was quite close. I just didn't get under it enough. But unfortunately, this is my max 130 kilos. I've achieved it 4 or 5 times now, but I've not managed to go any heavier. So to do it straight after the 120 is still really impressive for me. Quite a lot struggled in this setup. The axle was really smooth. I think the car deadlift might have took it out of a lot of people because it was super heavy, as I mentioned. But yeah, I just ran out of steam. Next up, the 400 kilo yoke for 20 meters. So I managed this in 14 seconds. This was a new PB, this for myself. Really comfy, felt absolutely great, and I came 3rd overall. And onto the 300 kilo frame into the anchor drag. Now everyone, I started near the end at this, I saw everyone had pretty much managed the frame no problem, so I was a little bit disappointed. It meant I had to really put some effort in and give it a really good shot. So I went as fast as I could on the frame, and I knew the drag was going to be tough for me. The first 10 meters actually moved surprisingly well, but I sort of gassed out. I've never been very good at these drag events. I'm not entirely sure why, but in all honesty, I don't really practice them either, so it's probably partly that, but I still ended up getting a good score here. I think I came 5th, so really can't complain against the strong lads there. And then the last event was the stone to shoulder. Now this didn't go well for me at all, unfortunately. I've just been suffering with glute and nerve issues and stuff, and my neck as well, so I've not really been practicing it at all. And as you can see, it's a triple extension. That's when my glutes are the worst. So onto the 120 kilo stone here, which I've easily done in the past. Got a little bit carried away there, tried to cheating the rep slightly. Dale fairly called it fairly. It was a no lift. Knew it myself, and yeah, my glute just did not play ball after that. I was like, no, well, I'm done. So yeah, that was the end of my comp. But yeah, really good day. Dale put on an absolutely great show, supported all the athletes. It was a great